Hey viewers, welcome back to the channel. Today my name is Osetale. On today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I drafted out this off-shoulder bustier. If that's something you're interested in, keep on watching and let's go straight to the tutorial. Welcome back, guys. As you can see, I already have the pattern paper on the table. What I'm going to be doing first is I'm just going to fold it together like this, the way you see me doing. So you're just going to fold your pattern paper together like this, okay? Then after you're done folding, you're going to bring your ruler and your tape. So right now, the first thing I'm going to do is to rule a line there, which is going to serve as my starting line. So guys, after ruling that line, now I'm just going to go ahead to take the body measurement. So you know it's an off shoulder bustier, so I'm going to be minusing 5 inches from my shoulder to bust point measurement. So I'm just going to take out the 5 inches while I take my measurement. So I'll measure to the bust point, which is 9 inches. I take it to the under bust, which is 13 inches. Then I'll take the half length of this bustier, which is 16 inches. I'll be adding extra 1 inch for the joining allowance. I'm just going to go ahead to do the same thing here. You take away your 5 inches, you measure your 9, your 13 inches, and your 16 plus extra 1 inch sewing allowance. I'm just going to connect the dots. So guys, after doing this, now the next step is for us to I'm just going to go ahead and label this first of all. So I'll call this the chest line, here is the bust point, here is the under bust, and here is the waistline. Okay, so now after we are done labeling, we are just going to go ahead and the first thing I'll do now is to come to the bust point. You see, I'll come to the bust point, the bust point. Then I'm going to take the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So mine is about 7.5. I divide it by 2, so I'm going to take it here. Then I'll come to the waistline and take exactly the same thing. Then I'll connect the dots. So guys, now that I'm done connecting that dot, now the next step is to come to this chest line. You see what I have on this bust point? I'm going to be adding extra 1 inch to what I took on the bust point and the waistline. So that's what I'm going to take on the chest line. You see guys, then I'll connect it to meet the bust point just like this. It's clear, right? So guys, after we are done doing this, now the next step is for me to come to the under bust area. I'll be going out by 1.5 inches. Then I'll go to the waistline, go out by 1.5. Then I'll come to the under bust again, go in by ½ inch, go to the waistline, go in by ½ inch. Okay, now I'm going to connect the dots. So guys, now that I'm done doing that, now the next step is for me to come to the bust point here. I'll go down by 1.25 inches. Okay, how deep you go down totally depends on how big the bust is. For my bust of 35 inches, 1.25 is totally perfect, but for a person with a bigger bust, you go down by 1.5 or 2 inches. Okay, so right now guys, I'm going to use the curve ruler to make a curve from that point to meet the 1.25 I came down by. So you're just going to make a curve like this. Oh, sorry guys, you're just going to make sure you place it well, then you make a curve just like that. Okay, you see what we have now. Then I will use the straight ruler to connect from that other point to meet the 1.25 we brought down as well. So guys, this is what you're going to have after doing that. Okay, now the next step is I'm going to come to the chest line. I'll be going out, sorry, first of all I'll be coming in by 1 inch. Okay, you come in by 1 inch, then you will go out by 0.75 inches. So that's what you're going to do there. Then with the curve ruler, I'll connect it to meet the bust point. So I'll just connect from that point there to meet the bust point, and I'll try and blend everything. Okay, you see, so you just have to blend everything. Then I will use the straight ruler to connect from the other point to meet the bust point. So guys, this is what you're going to have after doing that. Okay, now guys, the next step is to come to the chest line, and I'm going to be going down by 2 inches. Okay, so you're just going to mark 2 inches, then you rule a straight line just like this. So after doing that, I'll come to the neck area. How wide I want the neck to be is about 10 inches. So I'm going to be taking 10 inches divided by 2, which is 5 inches. Then I'm going to make a dot there. Then I'll measure what I have here, which is the dart we are going to be cutting off. Then I'll be adding it to the 5 inches. Okay, so you're just going to mark it. And now I'll be using the curve ruler to make an armhole curve, connecting from the point to meet that straight line just like this. You see guys, so this is what you're going to have. Now after doing that guys, I'm just going to come to the neck area. Then I'll be going down by about 1.5 or 2 inches. So I'm just going to go down by 1.5 inches. Then I will use the curve ruler to make a V-like neck. So you're just going to do something like this. Do you see what I'm doing guys? You're just going to make a V-neck like that. Okay, so this is it. Now guys, the next step is for me to go ahead and take all the round body measurement. So on this new chest line that we have, I'm just going to take the bust measurement divided by 4. Okay, then I'll mark it. Then I'll measure this dart I have here. I'll be adding it to it. Then I'll add extra 2 inches sewing allowance. Okay, then I'll come to the waistline and take the waist measurement divided by 4. I'll mark it, measure this dart that I have here and add it to it, add extra 2 inches sewing allowance. Then I'm going to connect the dots. So guys, now that I'm done doing this, the next step now is I'm just going to go ahead to cut this out. This is what I have after I was done cutting guys. You can see how nice it came out. Okay, so this is how to draft a bustier, okay, an off shoulder bustier. So right now I'm just going to place this aside, then we go ahead to cut out the back. I already have the pattern paper folded into 2 on the table, just the way we did for the front guys. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be ruling the line here, which is going to be for the zipper allowance. Okay, then after ruling the line guys, I'm also going to rule a line here, which is going to serve as my starting line. So now guys, I'm just going to take out 5 inches just the way we did for the front. Then I will mark 9 inches, which is the bust point. Then I will take it to the waistline, which is 16 inches and extra 1 inch sewing allowance. I'll just do the same thing at this other end, and I'm going to go ahead to connect the dots. So guys, now that we are done doing that, I'm just going to come to this neck area here. You see how wide our neck was 10 inches, so we divided it by 2, we have 5. So I'm just going to be taking the 5 inches. I will add extra ½ inch for the joining allowance. Then here I'm going to be coming down by 2 inches, just the way we did for the front, and I will rule the straight line. Then I will use the curve ruler to connect from that point I have to meet the straight line, just exactly what we did for the front guys. So that's what you're going to do to create the armhole. Now guys, I will be coming down on this neck area by about 0.75 inches, because I don't want the back neck to be exactly flat, so I just want it to be a little bit curvy. So you're just going to do this. Okay, then after doing that guys, I'm going to go ahead and take the body measurement divided by 4. So I take the bust measurement divided by 4 there. Then I'll add 2 inches sewing allowance. I come to the waistline, take the waist measurement divided by 4, add 1 inch for the dart and extra 2 inches for the sewing allowance. Then connect the dots. So guys, after doing this, now I'm going to come to this waistline. I'll be going in by half inch. This in order for me to eliminate anything like a zip bulge. Okay, so you're just going to mark half inch and connect it to the bust point just like this. So because we reduce it by half inch, I'm also going to be reducing this zipper allowance here by half inch as well. So I'm just going to go in by half inch, and as well I'll connect it to meet the bust point. So this is what you're going to have. I'm just going to extend this line here. Okay, so guys, now that we are done doing this, the next step is for me to take the dart. So I'm just going to come to the waistline and I'll measure the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Then I'll mark it. I'll come to the bust point and do the same thing. Okay, then I'm going to connect the dots. Okay, then after doing that, I will come to this waistline. I'm going to be measuring half inch on both sides of that line. Do you see what I did, guys? Then I'll come here and come down by 1 inch. Then I'm going to be connecting the half inch to meet the 1 inch that I brought down at that bust point, just like this. Then you do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so this is what you're going to have. Now that we are done doing this, guys, I'm just going to go ahead now to cut this out. So guys, this is what you're going to have after you're done cutting it out. Okay, there is something I do remember to tell you guys when we drafted at the front. You know, when we took the nipple to nipple measurement for the front, we didn't add any extra half inch for the joining allowance. Okay, so when you are using this now to cut out on fabric, you're going to add half inch to all the sides like this. Okay, you also add half inch to this side. You are not going to be adding anything to the other side because we already took the allowance there. So the half inch is going to be for only the sides. Okay, so that is it. This is how to draft out your very own off shoulder bustier, guys, and we are going to be using this particular pattern paper to cut on fabric in our next tutorial, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to make an off shoulder bustier crop top. Okay, so guys, that's it for this video. If this is the first time you are seeing any of our videos, this is the first time you are watching any of our tutorial videos, you are highly welcome. Please endeavor to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in my next tutorial. Bye bye.